Want to know how to make super fast railways without any gold? How about the dark secrets that skeletons have? These are 33 Minecraft things that you didn't know. Honey blocks have a crazy feature barely anybody knows about. They're actually just a little bit smaller than a normal block, meaning you can shoot arrows between them. Thank me later, fortress builders. Dolphins are one of the smartest animals in the world, and it's no different in Minecraft. If you give a dolphin enough fish, it'll actually begin to swim to the nearest underwater chest as thank you for feeding it. Endermen are already one of the most creepy and powerful mobs in the game. I absolutely didn't need another buff to make them even stronger, but they got exactly that. Usually an Enderman will just teleport out of the way of an arrow or other projectile. But if they've got nowhere to teleport to, the arrow will just bounce off like it's nothing. Cheaters. Luckily, there is a way to make Enderman completely powerless. Yeah, sort of. Sure, you can just place water at your feet, but that's old news. If you accidentally trigger an Enderman by looking into its eyes, don't look away. For some reason, Enderman won't move at all as long as you hold eye contact. And what do you do from here? Good question. Moving on. Breaking blocks like clay underwater is so annoying! Sure, there's the old door trick, but that's no fun compared to TNT. But Mallow, TNT doesn't work underwater! Wrong! All you need to do is place sand or gravel on top before lighting it, and it works perfectly. It barely even damages you. You can actually do the opposite as well. Placing an anvil on top of TNT before lighting it will stop it from breaking any blocks at all. It doesn't even damage the anvil. And again, you take almost no damage from the blast. And in case you don't have a big enough iron supply to waste on literally blowing up, there's a cheaper alternative in placing TNT on top of a half slab instead. For some reason, this also reduces the blast radius significantly. But unfortunately, you still take quite a lot of damage. Are you one of those weirdos that prefers using donkeys over horses for the extra storage space? First of all, why are you using horses in the first place? It's 2023, man, get Elytra! But secondly, llamas are a way better option. They can have up to 15 inventory slots and form groups of 10 that follow each other around. Using shulker boxes, you can transport up to 4,000 stacks of blocks with you. That's this many blocks, more than you'd ever need. And if you need another reason to make the switch to llamas, check this out. While horses and donkeys just sink like rocks when you try to ride them in water, llamas can swim. You still can't control them or anything, but if you need a fancy pool float or something, llamas work perfectly. Fireworks can be used for a bunch of things these days, but I bet you never thought of making a cannon with them. That's right, fireworks launched from dispensers actually do damage to mobs, meaning firework crossbows are out, and this is the new best way to take out mobs. Although it doesn't look it, villagers can actually wear armor. They can even wear mob heads and pumpkins, but nobody wants to see that. You can use dispensers to equip it to them, and even put enchantments on each piece of armor, including Thorns enchantment. God, that's an embarrassing death message. Oh, and by the way, that mob head thing works on piglins too, and it's somehow even worse! Everyone knows how cowardly villagers are, especially around anything that even has a possibility of hurting them. But I bet you never noticed they actually sweat during raids. At least, I heard that sweat. They really don't have much to worry about though, because some of these villagers actually have morals? These scary ex-guys called Vindicators refuse to kill baby villagers, so at least when they grow up, they can rebuild the village. Never mind. You can get floating Minecraft tracks by placing them on trapdoors and flipping them down. Aside from this just looking really weird, you can make some pretty crazy traps with this, as all the rails disappear at once when anything updates them. While testing this, I realized you can actually walk underneath trapdoors even though you're way taller than this gap. And your head even sticks into the trapdoor.
Yo, Mallow, is that a fresh cut?
No, please! Shulkers are one of the most mysterious mobs in Minecraft. I can't even figure out what they're supposed to be. But it turns out if you throw an invisibility potion at one, all is revealed. The shulker's shell disappears, leaving the shulker itself floating in midair. I'm still no closer to understanding what on earth this thing is, but I guess he's, like, cute. It's common knowledge now that villagers are the best way to farm items, but it takes so long to cure them. But it turns out if you place iron bars near the zombie villager, you can actually speed it up a bunch. The wiki says this works with beds too, but when I tested this, it seemed like it was fake. But let me know in the comments if it works for you. Speaking of beds, did you know that there used to be a sky dimension planned for Minecraft? It was supposed to be a magical realm in the sky that you could access through dreams. Each time you went to sleep, there would be a chance you'd wake up here instead. Unfortunately, this idea was eventually replaced by the end, but I'd love to see them bring back this idea. While you were busy having sniper duels or hiding away praying they wouldn't see you, skeletons have been hiding a dark secret. Okay, it's not that dark, but around 11% of them are actually left-handed and hold their bows differently differently to the rest. Apparently, this is to mirror the amount of real people who are left-handed. Also, even though wither skeletons can't spawn naturally with a bow, they still have a line of code that lets them shoot fire arrows when they're given one with commands. Weird, right? Have you ever noticed that the sky actually changes color during the wither fight? That's right, as soon as the fight begins, the horizon turns a deep, ashy gray, and some clouds become much darker. Too bad nobody will ever see this because we all fight the wither underground now. Like mole people. Putting carpets on top of fences lets you jump over them while keeping animals in. But did you know there's an even better way of doing this? Animals can jump over trapdoors just fine going one way, but if they try to leave, they walk straight into them. This makes it 100 times easier to collect animals and get in and out your pen without 1,000 chickens escaping through the gate. Axolotls are up there with bees for the cutest mob in Minecraft. They come in these 4 normal colors, and one super rare shiny blue axolotl that's actually a reference to the Pokemon Mudkip. And speaking of fish, kind of, some cruel player discovered that if you take fish out of their favorite aquatic home and place them on a bunch of slime blocks, they'll start to bounce really high super fast. However, it's not likely to last long as there's a few, shall we say, occupational hazards for our bounty swimming friends. The only thing I like more than this little guy has to be the frogs that got added in 1.19. I just wanted to show you what its eating animation looks like in slow motion. That's it. That's the fact. We're all pretty aware of Minecraft's food chain now. Creepers hate ocelots, foxes hate chickens and rabbits, Mallow hates dogs, but one toxic relationship you probably don't know about is that polar bears hate foxes. It doesn't usually go too well for the polar bears though, as foxes are way faster. And because foxes can step on powder snow just fine, the bears are sometimes baited in and get stuck. On the topic of foxes though, I have to know, am I stupid for not knowing this next one? Foxes don't just attack rabbits and chickens by walking up and biting them. They also sneak up and pounce on them by jumping super high into the air. What's crazier is that if they land on snow, they'll actually get stuck and shake around trying to free themselves. I swear these guys have been in the game for ages and I've never seen this. I must be an idiot, right? Slime blocks, honey blocks, and hay bales can all be used to reduce fall damage when using a drop chute. But they all have drawbacks. Instead, put a waterlogged chest at the bottom. You won't take any fall damage, you don't bounce, and it doesn't slow you down. Witch huts have the ability to spawn, witches. But also, each time one is generated, a black cat will also spawn inside. They do have a tendency to walk off, but this is actually one of only 2 ways to find this sleek variant of kitty. The only other way is wait until a full moon and venture out into a village, where each cat has a 50% chance of spawning as this magical black version. Have you ever run out of gold for powered rails because you never collect it when you're caving? Don't worry, so has literally everybody else that plays this game, but that means there's a solution! Putting a saddled pig in the minecart makes it go much faster on iron rails. It's kinda weird because you have to press the backwards key to move forwards, but it works just fine otherwise. Piglins are primal tribal creatures and do everything together as a group. Most people know they hunt down hoglins together, but you probably didn't know that there's a small chance that they'll dance together after taking one out. In Bedrock Edition, if you name a boat and an anvil, it'll actually show up as a name tag above. Cool, right? I bet Java Edition has an equally cool mechanic. Oh, it doesn't show up. And it's gone completely. Great!